Bloody hell. Hey up troops, A Littleton here again with another video, and as the explosion probably just gave away, this time we're going to be looking at Thermite. Now listen, before we go any further, Thermite is me boy. Thermite is my favourite operator in Siege. He's the operator I've played the most, he's the operator I like the most. So this one means a bit to me. We're going to follow the same theme that we did in the smoke video. Rather than me talking to you for a minute or two about how good Thermite is, and trust me, I would love to do that because I love the guy, I'm going to include an in-game clip, and it's me getting a 4K on Theme Park using one of the tricks which we're going to go through later on. The only thing is the clip quality isn't as good as it could be. It's not dead crisp, so don't flame me for that if you can avoid it. It still shows what I'm trying to show you, but yeah, the quality isn't great, so apologies about that. As always, that's enough of me waffling on. Let's get stuck into it.
This is going to open. Don't stand near me.
Get in the f***ing mud! Okay, so let's have a look at Thermite's loadout then. Now, Thermite gets the M1014 shotgun and the 5.56 XI. Now, you know my thoughts of shotguns on Siege. I'm not a massive fan, and they don't really work for me. Even though I've got black ice for it, I've never ever used the shotgun on Thermite, ever. Now you've got me started about probably my favourite gun in the game, which is the 5.56 XI. The 5.56 is such an underrated gun. Look at the stats. 47 damage, 690 fire rate. If we go and look at Sledge, which is everybody's sort of benchmark for a good gun, 47 damage, but 670 fire rate. So the fire rate is 20 less. So arguably, Thermite's gun is better than Sledge's, but everyone sort of thinks Thermite's got an average gun. It's really, really good. On this gun, you can have the 2X or the ACOGs, and then obviously any 1X. I run a 2X with a vert grip. But yeah, it's probably my favorite gun in the game. I've probably got more kills on attack with this than any other gun. But really, really, really good primary there for Thermite. You've then got a choice between the M45 and the 5.7. The main differences being the M45 does 58 damage, but only has a 7 capacity. Whereas the 5.7 does 42 damage, but has a 20 capacity, which is absolutely huge for a pistol there. So yeah, you just got to make your mind on what you prefer. I prefer the 5.56 and the 5.7. On to the secondary gadgets. This is an interesting one. Depending on what you're going to be doing in the round and depending on what map you're playing, you're going to take the smokes if you're looking to get the plant down and sort of commit to a plant. That's where the smokes are going to come in useful. If it says you're going to be more aggressive and you're pushing a certain part of the map, the stuns are going to become more useful if you need to burn ADSs or mine magnets, etc. You've just got to work out what it is you're trying to do in the round. I usually take the smokes, but there isn't one that's better than the other when it comes to smokes and flashes. It all just depends what you're trying to do. But yeah, for me, 5.56, 5.7, and smokes. So what does Thermite gadget do? Thermite has access to what is called an exothermic charge. You can place these onto reinforced hatches, reinforced walls, or even soft hatches, soft walls, and even barricades, like you can see on the door there. I don't recommend doing that too much. But yeah, it's mainly used for opening reinforced walls and reinforced hatches. Now, a normal breaching charge, as you know, won't open this wall. If you pop the exothermic charge onto the wall there, and you can step back, that'll stay there for as long as it needs to, until you press the gadget button again. And as you can see, around it goes, and bang. As it says as Thermite says himself, we made a big hole, and there's Cade on the other side. Look. So that's what Thermite's gadget does. As you can see, it makes a huge hole. It's actually slightly bigger than half of a panel of a reinforcement. It's absolutely massive compared to what Thermite and Ace can make. So yeah, it's really useful. He's probably the best hard breacher when it comes to just making entrances into reinforced walls. But obviously it comes with its limitations, which we'll talk through later on. But that's quite literally as simple as it gets with Thermite's gadget. Place exothermic charge on reinforced wall, and it makes a hole. And to just show you the same thing on a reinforced hatch, Cade has very kindly reinforced this for us. We place the exothermic charge onto the hatch itself, exactly the same thing again. Press the gadget button again, and that's the hatch opened up. Simple as that. So when it comes to counters for Thermite, there are a few. There's Bandit, there's Cade, and there's Mute. And I just wanted to point out, looking at this wall here, that when you get a wall that's a double reinforced wall with with nothing else around it. There's not much else we can do. We can't put an exothermic charge on the concrete outside. There's nothing you can do. You've got to rely on the rest of your team to get that electricity off, to get that Cade Claw, the bandit battery, the mute jammer, whatever it's going to be, to get that off the wall to allow you to do your job. There are things which we'll go through in the video very soon about how you can get around some counters, but when it's a basic wall like this, there's nothing that Thermite can do, and he relies on his team to help get that the denial off the other side of the wall. So where we just spoke about a standard reinforced wall that's electrified, where Thermite can do nothing, there is something he might be able to do when it's muted. Now we see Mute here has very kindly put the mute jammer down, and he's just put it slightly left of center. You see this is the middle of the wall here. The mute jammer is slightly left of center. Now the mute jammer arc above the mute jammer goes in a semicircle like this. Now because it's slightly left of center, the area here will actually be free for us to put a Thermite charge down. If we put it down in the middle, you'll see that it starts sort of malfunctioning and flashing blue like this, which means we can't set it off. However, we know that the jammer is slightly to the left of the wall on the inside, so slightly to the right of the wall outside. If we go over to the far side and place the exothermic charge on the wall, you can see it's no longer flashing, and it's actually outside of Mute's range of effect there, so we can actually blow that up. So it just depends. And you see the mute jammer there is unaffected, but it's slightly left of center. So think about that when you're playing mute as well. If you are muting off a wall, make sure you put the mute jammer directly in the middle of the wall. If I was to just take control of mute quickly and come back over, if that mute jammer was placed directly in the center there, if that mute jammer was placed there, we wouldn't have been able to do what we just did. So yeah, if you do see that someone's playing mute and you've got Thermite, always just go up to the wall and give it a little test on the far right or far left, because you'd be surprised about how often that actually works. So there actually is another way that you can counter mute. Here you can see the mute jammer is bang in the middle of the wall. If we nip to the other side here, as long as you can repel near the reinforced wall that you want to try and open, you can get past mute's jamming area of effect. If you go to the top right and place it here, or top left and place it here, that'll be out of the area of effect for mute. The effect, as we know from the middle, goes sort of like this. As long as you can get on repel, you can open that, and then that'll open the wall as normal. And in we go. So you've just got to think about that as well. If you can repel where the wall's muted, you'll still be able to open it regardless. Another really cool tip with Thermite when the wall is reinforced and electrified like this is if the floor outside the wall is soft, you can place an exothermic charge on the floor, and you can actually blow a small hole at the bottom of the wall, enabling you to destroy the bandit batteries or whatever it is that's on the other side. Just be careful not to put the charge too close to the wall, because it will get destroyed if it goes too close. There should be absolutely fine. We set that off. That'll then blow a hole across the whole bottom of that floor. As you can see, it's even destroyed the bandit battery on the left-hand side, but you can then see the bandit battery on the right-hand side. Hello, bandit's feet. Now, what you've got to be careful of here, obviously, is if you now need to put another exothermic charge. I haven't got any left, so that's not ideal. Hey, look at them toenails. They need cutting. Sorry, we digress. If you now need to put another sorry, I've gone all over the place here now. Another bandit charge? Not a thing. If you now need to put another Thermite charge on this wall, it's going to be a bit of a dangerous game because you've got the holes here, but it's something that you could then smoke after you've done it. Like so, and then you could safely put the Thermite charge on this side of the wall, and you could still save your toes from being shot. So here we've got a reinforced and electrified hatch that Cade has very kindly reinforced and electrified for us. Now, we can get around this. However, it's only possible when the floor next to the hatch is soft. If it's a solid floor like the one in bar, the hatch that's in here, it's impossible to do on this hatch. However, with the kitchen hatch, we can get around it. All you have to do is place your exothermic charge next to the hatch, making sure that it doesn't touch the hatch because it'll destroy the exothermic charge. To make sure it doesn't get too close, put it next to the hatch, detonate the charge, and that'll open the reinforced hatch as well. So that's something to think about in kitchen. Obviously, you've got to be super careful because Thermite makes a ton of noise when he's putting his exothermic charge down, and anyone underneath could see for you from below as well. But there you go. You can open reinforced and electrified hatches as long as the floor around or next to the hatch is soft, so you can put an exothermic charge down. Okay, we're on to Consulate now, and here's one for you that I don't think many people know. The hatch here in toilets when you're attacking basement is electrified and reinforced. Hey, Cade, thanks for that. And as we go around the other side here, there's a soft wall on the other side of the hatch, which is this one here. If you crouch and place your Thermite charge as low as possible as you can on this side of the soft wall, let's get into bathroom to see the fireworks go off. And when you set that off from the other side of there, that's also going to open the hatch as well. I don't think everybody knows about that, but it's something that's really useful because when you're attacking basement, getting this hatch open just enables you to clear this whole area by radio and pipes and security hallway. You can even watch the cafe door from here as well. Really, really useful spot to have open. And regardless of whether it's electrified or not, you can open it from there. Okay, so let's get started with some good locations on where we can use thermite from above. Say this wall's electrified and reinforced and we can't get through. If you were to put your thermite charge on the soft floor here, set that off. That wall into the kitchen is now open, and this makes a vaultable hole as well. And you can get an implant. But yeah, next to the cabinet there above, that's going to open that wall for you. Another really, really useful one on Oregon is when you're attacking kitchen dining, and they have this wall here that's in meeting. We have this wall reinforced. You've got the plant spot that's just behind here. If you ping the top of the floor, you can see it's right next to the attic door upstairs. So you pop your thermite charge on the floor there. Where we are is the attic door upstairs. We pop this, and as you'll see from the drone, that then opens the whole entire wall below. You can vault over here and get the plant down on the default here behind the pallet of whatever that is there. So we're on top floor on bank now, and we can't get the wall open here on the left-hand side because it's electrified. Yes, there are ways of getting around this. We could shoot open the top and we could grenade over the top, but let's just pretend that we haven't got anyone with grenades. We can't go below. If you can get control of janitors, which is always a difficult place to get control of, but if you can get control of janitors, you can come in here. You need to punch out the box, like so. And if you put that on the far right-hand side of that wall, when we blow this up, this will actually blow a hole across into that wall as well there. Now, you will take a little bit of damage when you go through because you'll get zapped, hey Cade. But that will then, it's only 3 damage, but opening that then will open the main wall outside as well. We're on to Chalet now, and much like the Oregon closet, if you get up to Mez here and the wall's still electrified, you can again put the thermite charge not too close to the wall because the electrification will kill it. But just here in the corner, to get rid of whatever it is on the bottom of the wall, you can then make a line of sight. Oh, hello, Cade. And destroy the bandit batteries or whatever it is there. From the other side, I mean, I've used Cade in this example, so it's not always the best, but yeah, from there you can see it opens the bottom of the wall and you can try and destroy whatever it is from there. And now we're on to theme park. This is the wall that I showed at the beginning of the video where I actually did it on the other side and blew the hole into break this way. I'm just going to show you that if the wall's electrified, you can still open it from bunk via break. So you put it right on the corner of the wall here and break. And again, regardless of the electrification, once you've triggered that, it's going to blow the hole this side as well. This is actually a really useful strat for if you smoke the breach just as it's about to go off. And you can literally sprint through and hi bandit. Assuming there's no one behind initiation, as we've just discovered, you can get the plant down right behind the initiation shrine type thing, whatever this is, quite quickly. The incense are burning. Smells lovely. But yeah, it really works well. From this side, going back the other way like I did before, it's actually a little bit harder to go back the other way. It just depends what site you're attacking. Obviously, if the site is bunk, you'd do it from this side. But if it says you're attacking initiation, you'd do it from bunk, obviously. But yeah, really works well from both sides to be able to cut that hole into break straight away and rush through like we did in the clip at the beginning. Just a quick random tip for theme park. This is thermite related, but you see the wall at the bottom of yellow stairs here. This actually won't get you through into the... You won't be able to vault the wall. You won't be able to get into side, but it does create some really long lines of sight across the site. Long lines of sight across the site. Anyway, right next to the minibar here in office, or whatever you want to call it, the desk. Right next to the corner of it here like this. When you detonate this, this will blow a hole onto the yellow stairs wall. Like I say, you won't be able to access sight from it, but you will get some really good long lines of sight across the site and to back throne there. You can see each side of back throne. You obviously be able to cover plants depending on what's going on and where else you can open, but because if you thermite from the bottom here, it won't open the very top. So even if once you've thermited it, even if you come back here, you can't hold the lines of sight that you can from this. So it's just a really useful tip depending on the execute that you're going for. If you are going to open this wall fully after you've done this, you can then obviously nade over the top and get the denial off if there is any on it, or you can destroy it from above. But yeah, just a useful tip I find to be able to hold long angles to the iron throne and whatnot. So we're on to border now, and we look at the office area upstairs when we're attacking into armory and archives. And first things first, let's shoot the radio. So that's that done with. Right, so what you'll quite often find here is the east take, with which is opening this wall and then planting behind the bomb, which you can see just there, the chassis there. That is quite an easy take nowadays. You can just get behind the bomb, smoke it off long, and plant behind there. So what you usually have is someone holding either fountain or more commonly offices. Now what's difficult here is this is a solid wall. So if you can play here and reinforce this wall, other than the double door, you can play the window here, you can hold the triple wall if it gets opened. It's just a really strong place to be able to anchor from. A couple of ADSs down for himself, obviously, but what you can do is if you go outside to the triple wall to the far right hand side, not will only this open the triple wall, it'll also open that wall that Jaeger's presently hid behind. As you can see there, now that wall has also been breached as well. So anyone that's on east stairs, you can then organise a push. So someone can hop in the window, and someone can push from top east there at the same time. And even if Jaeger gets one kill, he's going to get traded out with somebody else. So you can have the push coming from both sides there. You know, are you in the window? Yeah, I'm in the window. And you both push at the same time, so you can pincer and sandwich him. But being able to open that wall from outside there, to be able to get out of this sort of, I don't know what you even call this, like sort of bunker area, I guess, within offices, is really useful to be able to clear it out, to then be able to push through the east door into archives. I think I just said east door there, east wall. Now this one is an absolute screamer and really clever, actually. So we're outside border still. We're in passport, and the wall here that I've just pinged goes through to customs. Now, if someone's defending customs, this will be reinforced and electrified, and you can nade over the top and what have you, but it can be quite tricky to get open at times. All you've got to do is put your thermite charge on the left-hand side of the barricade, set that off, and if we have a look on the drone, you can see that blows up instantly, and you've then got a full line of sight, or even just a way into planting at what's called default plant here. You can plant here behind the, this isn't the bomb site, so I can't plant right now, but you can plant straight away there. The other thing to think about as well is this is even useful to do on many other sites that you're playing as well. If they're playing Vents and Workshop, you're usually going to have someone messing around customs anyway, so even just doing that when the site isn't here can be really useful for the attackers to clear out this area as well. We're on to Villa now, and this one's fairly situational, but it can be really helpful at times. The vault wall's electrified, we can't get in, however, like we said before, put the thermite charge on the soft floor outside. We detonate that, and we can then get an angle through vault and see what's going on inside. You can see Bandit's legs there. Now, this isn't something that you could use to push, but this is generally if you've got the man advantage and you know someone's, say, vault, or you know someone's bar, and you want to plant over on behind the vault door on the other side, you could do this and hold the angle here to stop the cross from either side of the side. So if you know you planted bar, you can hold here to stop the cross from AV, and if you know you planted AV, you can hold here to stop the cross from bar, etc. But basically, it's just generally a post-plant situation, or to clear somebody out of vault. The beauty of it is, as well, is when it first goes off and you're prone there, they aren't going to be prone, if that makes sense. So when that goes off, nobody's going to be prone looking at what's going on outside. They're going to be in this situation here. If I just take Bandit very quickly, let me just run outside with Bandit. And if we pretend that the Bandit is the thermite, and we are the Bandit, I'm now outside prone with Bandit, and I can see my own legs from outside there. You can see Bandit there. So if I bring him a little bit further forward, and even just put him right close there, he's right. Bandit is presently right outside the vault. Hello. But we can't see him here. So as soon as that goes off, the person on the other side of the breach that's prone is going to have the advantage, because the person in vault's going to go, oh, that's open there now. I don't think anyone's there, or I can't see anybody there. And there you'll be. It is, like I say, it's useful sometimes. It's not something I do every round, but something that just helps now and then. I am not saying that this is the best strat in the world, but Thermite Rushing is my favourite strat in the world. May not be the best, it's certainly my favourite. You put your thermite charge on the wall like so, and get close enough so it doesn't kill you. As soon as it goes off, you run through, you plant on default behind the bomb here, and away you go. Now, doesn't work all the time. It certainly doesn't work all the time, but it is a fun way of playing the game. Obviously, you're going to have a guy in rafters on this example here on Clubhouse, and what I also like to do, just to give you another example when you're doing it, is just before the thermite charge goes off, is you smoke the wall. So get the smoke ready there, and smoke it as it goes off, and it covers your paths even further. But it's a strat I like doing. It's not really a tip, it's not a trick, it's just a bit of fun. But you can catch so many teams off guard by thermite rushing. I thought I'd include it. Like I say, don't take it too seriously. But you should definitely try it every now and then, and always shoot the radio. So there we have it. That's my boy Thermite. I said at the beginning, I'll say it again. My favorite operator by far. Pretty basic operator, but someone who has an incredible impact on a round. And if you know a few tricks like we've been through today, you can really make a difference for your team. For those of you that don't know, and a few of you do, and I really appreciate those who've come over to Twitch, I also stream on Twitch 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 PM UK time. On a Friday, we have community nights where we play like 1v1 tournaments or custom games. So turn up at the Twitch channel, the socials are below us as we're talking. As I say, 4 days a week from 8 PM UK time. As always, a massive thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.